Hey, this is Peak of the Week. It's your shot of spiritual caffeine to get you over the hump of the week. And I want to talk a little bit about knowing something so foundational. You know that you know that you know it like the back of your hand, and then you forget. You ever had that happen? You have something that is so locked in. You teach it, you preach it, you know it, you talk about it, you memorize stuff around it, and you know it. And then something happens and you go, and you forget it. Shoot, I hate it when that happens. By the way, if you're wondering where Nala is, my new little puppy, she's lying right there listening to us do the Peak of the Week. So this is a concept that likely you're not unfamiliar with. In fact, I remember, years ago, when I was a voice student at the University of Toronto, right? That was my first thing, was singing. And I remember years ago watching this video at the time of Wynton Marsalis and Kathleen Battle. So these are classical musicians. Wynton Marsalis, world-class trumpet player. And backstage seeing his, they were doing a recording. And watching them do this recording, and his coach was there with him. And he kept saying to Wynton Marsalis, like this incredible trumpet player, amazing trumpet. He just kept going like this to him. No compression, no compression, no compression. Something so basic for a trumpet player. Like, don't tighten your embouchure, don't tighten your jaw, don't tighten your muscles. Keep it relaxed, keep it relaxed. So foundational. You think he doesn't know that? Of course he knows that. But when the going gets rough, or when you're performing, or when you're trying to do your thing and then you're in the thick of it, he tightens up, he forgets a foundational thing. So when I was, when things happened with David, and just FYI, I don't talk about it all the time now, the grief, but I am still in grief. I still do particular things every day to set aside time to mourn, to grieve, to ponder. And at the same time, I am moving forward in ways that are really constructive and uplifting, actually. I have to admit to you, getting a puppy was really nice. A lot of work, but really, really sweet. But one of the things when David passed away, my son, 8 months ago now, one of the things that happened to me, which never in my life had I ever considered was not true, was I remember feeling like, God, there is a heaven, right? God, it's true, right? Because it's one thing to know about it, to sing about it, to know that you know that you know, like I said a moment ago. Hi, guys. It's one thing to teach it, to preach it, like I said. But when the chips are down and something so crazy happens to you, like losing your child, it's when everything is shaken and you go, please, oh God, let it be true. Please, oh God, let it be true. Okay, so maybe something like that, not maybe that, but something like that has happened to you where you know something so well. But then, things happened and you went, oh my gosh, how could I have forgotten this? So around heaven, I was, and this is my, what I'm trying to share with you, what I will share with you is the solution has been for me, and I would impart to you today in this Peak of the Week, this shot of spiritual caffeine to get you over the hump of the week as we start this 2022. I have found that when life is nuts, when you're feeling confused, when you're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, when you're feeling like you've lost your way, when you're feeling like the whole world is absolutely in disarray, when you're feeling like the church is crackers and you're like, I can't even engage. It's so crazy. What I have found to be truly helpful is to go back to the Gospels. Here's my Bible. I love reading all kinds of scripture, but when everything is going nuts, what I have found most helpful is going back to the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. They all have a particular slant because the people that wrote them were all different. But what I went to recently, one of my, there are only four. One of my favorites is John, but this time I was reading the book of Matthew. And recently, reading Matthew has been tremendously encouraging to me. Why? Because turns out Jesus, all over the book of Matthew, and likely, and in fact, I know this is true, all of the Gospels hone in on this truth. Jesus, what did he come to do? Among other things, he came to bring, the most important thing, to inaugurate the kingdom of heaven. So all over the book of Matthew, it's like, seek first the kingdom. Oh, the kingdom's like this. The kingdom's like this, and this, and this. And the whole book is just all about the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of heaven, and showing us pictures of what it's like. Can I tell you how unbelievably encouraging for this grieving mother? And yes, I'm 8 months in, but I'm still grieving. And for me to see Jesus again, like trumpeting, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. The kingdom of heaven is like this. The kingdom of heaven is like... For me, when all of life went a little crazy, went upside down, I feel like looking at Jesus again through the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. Looking at Jesus again and listening to Jesus and just focusing on Jesus gave me clarity and reinforced, Nancy, it's true, child. It is true. And then, don't you know, the other morning I was up early again. And I was lying on this little couch right over here. There's this little couch, and I was lying there. And I just started to pray. And I wasn't thinking about the kingdom at that very moment. I just started to pray, Our Father who art in heaven. And I just paused there, and I was like, if I can't take Jesus at his word with Our Father who art in heaven, telling me where God resides among, of course, God is everywhere. I know that, omnipresent. But Our Father who art in heaven, I just paused there and began to cry. God, thank you. Thank you for reminding me again. Thank you for teaching this teacher, this preacher, heaven's real. Heaven is real. You may be going, Nancy, how could you ever doubt it? Oh, but you can. But you can. When life is nuts, when things are crazy and everything gets turned upside down, you most certainly can doubt or feel like, is it true, or forget. So maybe that is something that, maybe not that particular thing, likely not, but maybe you could even comment and tell me, is there something has that been a reality for you too, where something you knew so very well, something you talked about, like you knew it, like Wynton Marsalis with no compression, no compression, don't tighten the embouchure, don't tighten this area, Wynton, you world-class trumpeter. Don't do that. Foundational. So for me, with this peak of the week, this shot of spiritual caffeine, can I, in the start of 2022, remind you, my dear friend, look at Jesus. Look at Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. Pick one. Pick one. And if you, by the way, have any questions about any of the four, I can guide you a little bit in sort of the different angles for those Gospels. If it's new to you too, you're like, haven't really read any of them. Where to begin? I would love to hear from you. But this shot of spiritual caffeine is go back to looking at Jesus when life is crazy. And where you'll find Jesus most is looking at the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. So I hope that's helpful. And God bless you. Oh, hey, and by the way, remember I told you we had to postpone the Blue event? Almost forgot to tell you this. We are doing Awaken online starting February 17th. If you don't have a Bible study, you're not part of a group, you're feeling a little out there, like I'm not connecting with people I so need to, and I could use some spiritual guidance and direction. Could I help you? I'm going to lead it. 10 weeks, starting February 17th, Thursday evenings from 7:30 to 9. I am going to lead it. And the last time we did it, oh my women. But I'm fair warning, it's intense. It is getting real and raw, and it is getting in there and trying to live out things like forgiveness, things like excellence, things like listening to God. How do I do that? Things like stripping away some of the stuff people have taught you and told you that sticking on you and holding you back. Let's get those off of you. This is Awaken. And I'm going to teach it again starting February the 17th. I hope you can be a part of that. I would love it. I would be honored to lead you through those 10 weeks. So details are coming. Sign up is available soon. I'm not going to put it on here because this is peak of the week and I'm not ready for that. So love you. Hope this is helpful. God bless.